You're watching a video by Tick. Who the hell do you think he is?
No simulation can support two main entities. At a certain point, something has to give. If Thomas A.T. hadn't possessed those exact personality traits, it's likely the story would have... Huh.
Thomas did not like the cloud. He long since stopped listing his observations, but he instinctively observed that this thing was bad. You've been right about the water.
I wonder. Yeah, I know I'm becoming a lot more of a completionist recently, but it's only really on games I enjoy. Okay. Plus, I'm kind of lacking in the motivation department. I've been lacking in the motivation department recently for a while. The music's nice, I guess. Ha! Okay. It's alright. Yeah, no, it's not a game I'd come back and play. Let me put you that way. I wonder. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if that is the reason. I can only assume that's the reason. I mean, as it stands right now, I don't know what the fuck's going on in this game. You're a bunch of little squares that are just... Not only that, but there's just some stuff I just really am just disliking right now. Biggest one would have to be the camera. I'm hating this camera right now. And it's only because of its tracking speed. Its tracking speed is way the hell too slow. So basically, I'm having a harder time because of the tracking speed just being so freaking slow that it's distorting everything. Not only that as well, but I really don't like how you don't really have a visual cue.
Was in love, and that was fantastic and everything, but didn't mean they could let the doom cloud keep following them. Thomas was going to put his foot down once they got to the next level.
I mean, it's like, if I move, the character kind of gets all weird and such. Ah.
Chris. Wow. Did not see that coming. He felt a little guilty too. Without his love for Laura and subsequent reunion with the guys, Thomas would probably still live with them.
Okay. Yeah, it's also that kind of distortion thing that you're seeing. It's just, I don't know, the camera just seems to be very in the way-ish, and like, I don't know, it's the way it tracks the, whatchamacalls it. It's the way it's also tracking the movement. So you see it's kind of lazily moving about. Like, I mean, it's all well and good if you're going to use that for an atmospheric game like they did in Limbo, but I don't know, it just doesn't work. It just feels like it doesn't work at all. Yeah. Because also as well, I don't think I need to tell you this, but the levels are kind of slanted. You know, it's like the film director from Battlefield Earth did this, and that's also distorting. So I feel like they've made it deliberately more difficult in an unfair way. Like, I'm fine trying to distort the player, but you gotta have a reason behind it. Like, it's all good trying to make it look artsy and such, but
Chris wondered if Thomas was still alive somewhere.
oh, okay.
Wasn't going to go looking for him, but he did wonder, and that showed character.
Well, this is really freaking easy.
Probably.
Yeah, the sound effects in Eternal Darkness, they were distorting as all hell, but they had a point. They were there for a reason. And, well, this, no.
Hadn't abandoned Laura all that time ago. It began to dawn on her that she might not be the tragic victim she'd always assumed.
If you think of it this way, what's the reason for having the camera, you know, all Battlefield Earth film style? As I said, there's showing art and then there's just being annoying. And this is definitely on the annoying side. As I said as well, Like, I keep switching back to, like, John and such. That's not because I'm thinking I can do something with them. That's because of the fact that I have no visual cue. Basically, the game's not, like, telling me what I want to know. It's like, hey, do you want to go here? Or do you want to choose this character? Well, you're going to have to remember which button it is. And I have a terrible short-term memory, so... Uh-oh. Oh, that's cheap. Yeah, it does, but I mean, it's the fact that I have to keep remembering. I have to keep glancing down, which... Let's say you're trying to figure out a puzzle. If you're trying to figure out a puzzle, you don't really have time to do that stuff. It can be. But also as well, in a puzzle game, I like to focus on the puzzle. Because, well, it's a puzzle. I don't want to have to glance down at the bottom right while solving a puzzle. Easy or hard.
Laura, you've been the bait. She had a hunch. She wasn't needed anymore.
Well, here's the thing. I'm willing to treat games as art, and I have treated games as art. I think Valkyria Chronicles is a piece of art, for example, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I like my art aspect stuff with some actual Yeah. That, I mean, it's like... One of the top... For me, the top three things in a game are... its story, its gameplay, and its design. While this game is well designed, I'd say... Well, no, actually, it actually isn't as well designed because the camera and the such... Well, no, really. It's only got the gameplay factor, which, you know, it's like, for me, the three pillars of what makes a good game.
John looked at Claire.
Gameplay,
It was just there.
and... yeah.
Muttered something under her breath, a vow of vengeance. He didn't see the point. Fighting that thing seemed to be a pretty futile idea.
You get what I'm trying to say here. It's like, if it doesn't hold up to the three, you know, pillars that I have, then it's just like, for me, it's like, you know, it's not really, it's not that good of a game. I mean, part of the design as well is also controls, which I will say, this game does have pretty decent controls. Its physics are a bit off, though. I mean, I don't think I am being harsh in thinking this, it's just the whole... People expect different things. I mean, I got a friend who... He says that he doesn't do it anymore, but he kind of still does. He only gets a game if it's got HD graphics, multiplayer, and it's first-person shooter. Otherwise, he doesn't think the game's good. You know, there's people like that. I'm just one of those more realistic people. Yeah. It is. I've constantly badgered him about his way of thinking when it comes to games. I mean, like, he's the kind of person that thinks that, well, until Medal of Honor got scrapped and Call of Duty went modern, he thinks, and he actually still thinks to this day, that that first-person shooter should only take place in World War II.
John hoped that he would be the next to get eaten. He wouldn't want to be alone.
Like, his firm belief is that the Medal of Honor series failed because of the fact that that it was not in World War II anymore. And I'm just like, well, you have to realize World War II games existed back when Wolfenstein came out. That's been a good, what, 34 years? Oh god. Lab room zone! So I can't dawdle about here. Now see, imagine if there was this kind of puzzle when I, fuck. I'm gonna fail this one. Look how fast this thing's going up! Yes, I said labyrinth zone, because this is just... It's clearly inspired by the... Oh, what the hell? I got stuck on the corner! It's inspired... It's clearly... You know, it just reminds me of Labyrinth... It just screams Labyrinth Zone to me, because look. Wait for it. And now the water's started rising. Just like in the Labyrinth Zone. Da 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 da.
For the first time in a while.
Yes, we get it. John didn't have an audience. We get it. Move along. Ah! Fun fact, the Labyrinth Zone was the first thing I ever played, like, in the history of ever.
For the first time in a while.
I was given the controller, and I was in the Labyrinth Zone. Underwater. And then I heard the drowning theme.
Leaping from black square to black square didn't seem nearly as exciting now. It just seemed empty.
So pretty much the first thing I also heard, was the drowning theme. Yeah. Okay, there's a small problem with their programming here. You can get stuck on the corners and the wall. And you can get stuck on them very easily. Which leads me to believe that this game might have been programmed on XNA. Actually no, because I've used it. See, look! I get stuck by his movement. Yeah, the timing of jumps and such isn't made any easier by, as I said, the camera tracking slowly. Look at that! Like, I understand you're making the camera move slow to make it seem artsy. I get that. I get it. And I get that the developers wanted this game to be artsy. But you can't make a game artsy at the expense of the gameplay. If the artistic vision is breaking the gameplay, you know, making it tougher for players to, well, play, then you're not making a game now, are you? And then you're just better off making it like an interactive movie or something. Like, that's one of the reasons why I think Valkyria Chronicles is a game and I think it's art. because it was able to balance its artistic look, you know, it's just its pure art factor, with its actual gameplay. So is that game over?